The wrongs we must right. The fights we must win. The future we must secure together for our nation. This is what's in front of us. This determines what's next for all of us. We are Marines. We were made for this.
ID Tech, the first and most trusted tech camp, is where kids ages 7 to 17 find their people. The coding and creating people. The fire-breathing, shell-spinning BattleBots people. The just as happy building games as they are playing them people. At 75 prestigious college campuses all across the country, ID Tech features over 50 epic courses like BattleBots, AI and machine learning, game design, and more. Visit idtech.com and use code IDTech to save $150 on a week that's guaranteed to be a highlight of summer.
What's going on, people? It's Thursday. I was sitting here thinking what I was going to talk about. But a lot of times when I record, I kind of don't have an idea, but I don't have an idea. I don't format anything that I do because I don't work that way. I kind of like freestyling things and going from there and talking. Because to me, these episodes here on Thursday is kind of a therapy because it's me by myself. I don't have any guests. Don't even know why I even do these shows. I just enjoy podcasting, I guess. You know. And I was listening to Tasha K. She was talking about Lorna Rosa. And for some of y'all don't know who she is, she's the young lady who was having the moment with Jess Hilarious on The Breakfast Club. And it's funny how that drama hit, that conversation of that show hit. Then out of the blue, it was announced that Lorna Rosa was going to have her own podcast show, YouTube channel, wherever it is. And I listened to Poetic Flacco, shouts out to him. I really began to really like his page. I'm becoming an actual fan of that dude, actually. And he was talking about it, and I heard Tasha K's commentary. And ladies like Tasha K, Flacco, anybody that do YouTube videos and you completely by yourself and you're doing commentary and you're not doing it live and you're able to do it straight through without cutting, without editing, without showing any visual aids, because a lot of times I don't show visual aids, you got to be damn good. You got to have good talking points. You got to be funny. You got to be all of this. And what y'all found out about her was that some people can't be by themselves. They need someone to bounce off of. They need somebody to help. They need a co-host. See, what happened was they took her segment and thought that would be cool to do as a podcast or a YouTube video or so forth. But part of this is not, see, this is what people miss. She's good when it comes to reciting news. She's good when it comes to researching and knowing the topic. What she's not good at is being entertaining while delivering it. While she's delivering it, you got Jess Hilarious, you got Charlemagne, and you got DJ Envy. They can bounce off of her. It makes her seem stronger. But what happened was, when you strip away all that, and you got to go up there by yourself, and you got to carry a show, it's not as easy. That's why my ass has been nominated twice for the AVNs. Probably no other award, but AVNs. So, time to smoke this over, people. Welcome to the Smokers Lounge. You know who I am. I'm Kavanaugh Silver Champ. You know where to find my links. allmylinks.com/pornrapstar. You know the sponsors. RodSizzleMagazine.com, BlushErotica.com, The Kinky Candle Company, The Queen of Law, Mitchell Ferrari, and last but not least, Past That Apparel, where you can find in the Past That Inhalation Partners TeePublic store. You feel me? Great t-shirts for the smoker in you. And by the time you're hearing this, 420 is right around the corner. Go in the link in the description. Go ahead and order yourself a t-shirt. And it's stateside. You feel me? It's stateside. You know, I'm going to have mine on for 420. I'm actually going to do probably a live. I plan to do a live on X where I'm going to try to smoke some bud and talk some porn and so forth and so forth. You feel what I'm coming from? So now, also, you can find me 5 days out the week at fullswatradio.com. Also, sgpradio.com and skyhawkafterdarktv.com. And on YouTube, like, comment, and subscribe. And please, feel free to comment. Good, bad, or ugly. So, I was sitting back and I was looking in my phone, right? And I was looking at the picture that I took at the Deadlock Pro wrestling event. It felt good to get outside, man. It felt good to it was recent, but you know what I'm saying? I'm definitely looking forward for them to come back or what have you. This way. I would love Ashe Wrestling to come back, to come this way. They always in Greensboro and Charlotte. You know, I'm really beginning to like that dude Darius Carter, the Allfather. He reminds me a lot of this other villain wrestler by the name of Spike Trevay that was over in Progress. And I kind of like what he's doing over here, Mr. Darius Carter. So y'all need to check them out on YouTube. Ashe, A-S-E, with the, you know, the accent over top. Go check them out. And also check out Deadlock Pro. So now, yeah, it's interesting because when I sit down, I was listening to Aaron Critique. When I think about Tasha Case, I think about the Storm and Rose. I think about even shouts out to Love Jones. Anybody that got to get in front of this camera and you have no co-host or no one to bounce off of, and I'm not talking about live, I'm talking about you're recording it. It takes a certain bit of entertainment, talk, or what have you. And the problem is that Lauren LaRosa never been in a position where she had to carry a show completely on her own. It's tough. You know what I'm saying? I commend Melissa Ford for stepping out and having her own podcast. You know, you see Mandy B, she has her own complete podcast, but she has guests. You feel me? You know? But to do a podcast where it's completely you and it's your talking points, and see, that's the reason why a lot of those red pill guys get over, because that's their thing. You're listening to them. You got to be entertaining, man. You got to be quick with it. And it's just, they haven't her do one topic is 25 minutes, and she's not even making it 25 minutes entertaining. Like, Lovely T is entertaining. You know, period. They don't even, she would probably benefit if they actually put like the little videos up there to show or the pictures or what have you, you know, but it is what it is, you feel me? So it's just crazy how the sentiment went from they love LaRosa to they bitch garbage. Now, I noticed that Coachella where it's now, what is it? Festival season. So Coachella is up. We just had with J. Cole shit, Dreamville Festival, which supposed to be the last one, but Raleigh said, "No, motherfucker, we doing it again for 2 more years. Fuck that." And I was watching and I was looking at some Twitter feeds and they were talking about how motherfuckers were doing payment plans to go to Coachella. I fucking laughed my ass off. If you gotta do a payment plan to go to this festival, you really need your head examined. Period. But then again, when I was looking at the pictures and see how some of these girls were dressed, I see why some of the niggas actually paid that damn shit. Because they were looking sexy. But even more so than that, though, I just find it funny that, like I said, I took a gander at the Coachella. I mean, the parts that I've seen so far was mostly rock and roll people, which I didn't know rock and roll was still existing. And I think it was more of nostalgia acts than anything else. I'm not one to really go to festivals or watch live shows. One, because I was so used to being on stage, being behind the scenes, being the performer and so forth. I that's one, because I'm like, damn, I'm looking up on stage. I want to be there. And but the fact that these motherfuckers spend this much money to go to this shit, and you got to recover, and it's crazy how much these places charge, man. They charge like it's not a recession. But people complain about taxes and tariffs and all this, but let me tell you what it proves. If it's something that you really want, you don't mind paying for it. You do a payment plan, you do whatever, you'll pay for it. That would ultimately come down to. Because all these young folk, all these people, we talking about 600 to 1,000. That's the ticket. I don't know if that per day or for the whole package. They're not even counting the hotel, your Uber there and back, unless y'all motherfuckers on some, unless they allow people to pitch tents. But then be the first one to complain when the price of eggs go up. Well, why do you give a fuck about the price of eggs when your damn ass took your happy ass to Coachella? See, it's funny what we complain about, what we argue about, and what we deem of importance. Only to when it comes to serving our selfish needs, desires, and wants. Then the arguments that we had prior to that don't mean shit. Because if you worry about eggs, you worry about the rent going up, the last thing you should be doing is going to Coachella. At the same token, Coachella, they're going to charge what they're going to charge. Because they know they got all these artists, these rappers, these worldwide. If anyone thought they were going to go down the tickets, think again. I just find it funny that people did payment plans, and that speaks volumes. I mean, you got WrestleMania coming up this coming weekend. You know how much money motherfuckers spent to bring their ass to WrestleMania? Now, I don't know how much the tariffs have hurt it for the international travel side of things, but man, you trust me, motherfuckers is spending buku money at that WrestleMania. But they're going to come home and complain that eggs about $12. The car prices went up and all this. But it goes back to what I said. If you really want it that bad, you'll break your pockets to get it. That's a conundrum of our world. That's the craziness of our world. That is I want y'all to think about that for a second. Dude to sit here and complain about certain things financially, but you go to strip club and blow $1 grand. Our vices outweigh our morality sometimes when it comes to money. Because if you got a habit, addiction, whatever it is, you're going to put that over top of anything else. Yeah. See, I do believe in the Muslims on this one end. If you can't afford 2 of it, you don't need it. That's just me. I'm not a Muslim, though. But I kind of like that philosophy. I went to the DP Pro because I knew I could afford it and it was not going to fuck with my bills. You'll never see my dumb ass go to any festival and damn it, I got to do a payment plan for the shit. Yeah, I'll do that for Hinduism. But you want to know why? I'm going to be fucking. I'm going to see tits and ass. I'm going to be around people that are sexually free and open like myself. Versus a bunch of drunk motherfuckers that might end up getting in a fight. But I digress, though, to each his own. Speaking about tariffs, because I know I love talking politics. Come on, man. I'm looking forward to having Miss Hollywood on the show. I know y'all don't like to hear porn stars talk politics, but then miss this episode when it comes out. But we're going to chop it up. We're going to be in the premium smoke room, tits and politics. But anyway, so the tariff war continues. Trump has now put a pause. China is now China versus the United States. And I listen to the CNNs, the Foxes, and all that. I do listen to the news. Maybe, because I could understand when I used to watch my granddad, right? My granddad always made a point to watch the news. He always watched the news. He would watch the noon news. He'll watch the pre-evening news, the evening news, the late night news. You know what I'm saying? I'm moving around, so forgive me. Here we go a little bit in and out. And my granddad used to keep up with it. He kept up with the politics. Now, it's funny as I get older, I notice I do the same thing. Maybe even my dad used to listen to the news, but I notice I do the same thing. My grandparents used to get newspapers. Yeah, kiddies. There was a thing that used to come to your house that had the news in it for your local as well as national, called newspapers. You had local newspapers and you had national newspapers such as USA and so forth. Here we had magazines. I digress. So the interesting part is that he said, Mr. Trump said that he decided to pause these tariffs because, well, he changes up his thought process because yesterday it was, well, as the time of this recording, the day before it, I mean, it's hard to keep up with it, is he's going to pause it for 90 days. And when it comes to China, he wants China to be the one that make the first step in negotiations instead of us, while China wants the other. China has said that they are willing to go to war no matter what. Now, I know a lot of people sit here and think, us as Americans, we actually think that trying to measure my words a little bit with this. We think because the world told us we the biggest superpower that we're the only biggest superpower. Let's be some truths here. And see, the way I do my truths is I'm not going to sit here and insult y'all intelligence. At the same token, I'm not going to overdo it, over explain it, over all that, because the problem is when y'all listen to the motherfuckers from CNN and Fox, these are educated motherfuckers telling you shit. They don't break it down to the country of it. Break it down to the country of it. And so I'm going to break it down to you like this, right? China is the world's main country store. Now, for you people that from the South, you know what I'm talking about. It is the main store in that area. China is where the world gold manufactures everything, not just the United States. China offers cheaper shit, cheaper labor, cheaper housing. And if you cool with the government, because it is a communist government, you're really good. We get a lot of our electronics. We get a lot of shit. Because this is where they got us. They manufacture more than we do. And they export to the world because of it. See, that's why China can talk to Vietnamese. They can talk to this person. They can talk to Japan. They can talk to Canada. Because a lot of those companies have factories in goddamn China. Why the fuck you think China got so much small? They became an industrial giant overnight. We manufacture, but not to the level that China does. What makes us a superpower is our military. They don't come to us for products. They come for us for guns, weapons, and help on a fight. The only reason why there's trade agreements and stuff like that is that so that if we ever need the United States to help us whoop somebody's ass, they'll say yeah. So understand, when you're dealing with your allies, it's not just trade as far as goods and services. The trade is goods and services. It's just the reason why everyone love trading with us, because our services is way higher, because guess what? Like I said, that military. We are more technically advanced on the military scale than a domestic scale. People don't think about that. Smoke that over. I know they're like, what you mean by that? Okay, then. We have the most advanced weaponry. China, Japan got the most advanced computers. They have the most advanced cities. The smart cities that we talk about having, they are already working on it or damn near having it. I keep telling everybody, the worst case scenario is that we get shut out, which Trump wants to have. He wants us to be like Russia, and then ultimately we become allies with Russia, because that's what he ultimately wants. He wants to be like Putin, the American version of it. And what's so funny is that Putin criticized his ass. Low-key, notice how Fox ain't said shit about that. I'm surprised that CNN ain't even said something. Putin said what he's doing is counterproductive. He's actually stupid. Now, this is the guy he look up to. These tariffs is not only hitting the poor folk, it's hitting the millionaires as well because their money in the stock market. The only difference is the pain they're going to feel is not the same as the average person. Trust me, Adin Ross might have lost $10 million, but here's the thing, right? He ain't broke. He ain't got to downsize his house. Hey, he was just on live stream with Drake. Can you tell everybody, it's not about race, it's not about sex, it's about rich versus the poor. Right now, we're technically in the midst of a democratic society being turned into a communist economic, I'm trying to find the right words, a communist economic society. Not necessarily communist, but the money thought process and the distribution of wealth within the country is going to look like a communist country almost. See, and so people can understand why the Adin Rosses and them lost money, the Joe Rogans, because they're not corporate business owners. Corporate business owners. And they don't own platforms. Trump is going to be beholden to those who own something that is industrious. He'll use the podcast to get elected, but he ain't going to do anything to enrich them because to them, they're just like the regular 9-to-5 person. So now the polls are saying everybody's against these tariffs. You want to know why? Because people didn't think the tariff will touch them, and the tariff does touch you. That's why I love hearing Scott Jennings talk, because you want to know why. These tariffs is it might be hitting, but he ain't feeling it because he don't even know what the price of eggs is because he got somebody to go buy it for him. He got a contract, he makes millions, he's worth millions. He ain't got to worry about the gas prices. He got that covered. Shit. A lot of these Democrats as well as Republicans. And if you don't think somebody didn't benefit from all of this movement with the stock market, yeah. So now they're calling for an investigation with that. Not surprised. They should. They should. Because at the end of the day, Trump once again opens his mouth. And here's the thing, like with Trump.
This episode is brought to you by LifeLock. It's tax season, and we're all a bit tired of numbers. But here's one you need to hear. $16.5 billion. That's how much the IRS flagged for possible identity fraud last year. Now here's a good number. 100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity is stolen, they'll fix it. Guaranteed. Save up to 40% your first year at LifeLock.com/podcast. Terms apply.
At New Balance, we believe if you run, you're a runner. However you choose to do it. Because when you're not worried about doing things the right way, you're free to discover your way. And that's what running's all about. Run your way at newbalance.com/running.
Oh, damn. I'm sorry. I was just reading this. In a shocking moment, the president of El Salvador said he won't return the guy who was accidentally sent to El Salvador. How can I smuggle terrorists into the United States? Of course, I'm not going to do it. Wow. That's another conversation for another day. So, but anyway, I saw that we had another football player who yoked up his girl. And I don't know his name or what have you. Wow. I saw that video. It really just blew my fucking mind. It really just blew my mind. It really just blew my fucking mind because the way he just snatched up Shorty, and I was like, God, what the fuck? And it says because she was about to leave him, his career is over. Because I remember the Ray Rice situation when he knocked this girl out. Fellas, I'm gonna be real with you. Because I see the way that Offset is acting. I see the way this dude is acting and what have you. 9 times out of 10, men sometimes I'm not going to say you know how to love, but in this situation, okay, then I'm just going to be on 1% honest. Let's just cut the cord. Situations like that is because your ass done some wrong ass shit and you don't want that ass to leave because it was because your dumb ass did some wrong shit. That's the only reason why you crash out like that. That's the only reason why. Projection guilt. Projective guilt. I know y'all wonder what the fuck that is. I've been caught so many times fucking up that when you decide you ready to be done with me, I can't handle you leaving because you pose to stay. You pose to take my bullshit. So I do little bullshit because I'm pissed because I fucked it up. Instead of just moving the fuck on. See, and what's so crazy is, one, I don't even know how in the fuck that he got filmed doing this shit with Shorty. He yoked her up, put her ass to sleep, technically. What, for y'all to end up breaking up anyway, and here's the other part, or if y'all even together, I don't know. But even worse, your career's over there because ain't nobody gonna have your ass on their football team, and you just basically put your girlfriend in the fucking sleeper hole. It's something, I don't give a fuck what nobody say. It's something wrong with you to do that. I don't want to hear because she want to leave you. I don't want to hear because she was looking to break up with you. You motherfucker punch a wall if you need to. But you yoking up a woman or what have you, no. A woman shouldn't even hit on a man. But it hits different when it's a dude, man. And he's a football player. So I already know that you big enough because y'all don't get big girls like that. With majority of y'all anyway. I was just totally mind blown. And then thoughts and prayers to the family of the football player that committed, hold on, I got to say his name. What's his name? Karen Lacey. I heard the story about him. And wow. Decisions. One decision can change your life, can end your life, and can end others. From what I understand, months before, he was charged in a car accident and vehicular a homicide, causing a wreck that killed one person and injured, I think, a few others. And then most recently, what had him end up killing himself was after a high speed car chase, which was preceded with him shooting a gun into the ground after an argument. Whew. See, I was around when Len Bias died after he hit that bad batch of cocaine or crack, whatever it was. Once again, one bad decision changes everything. He was driving, dotting in and out of traffic, acting like a fool. See, the one thing about NIL, and I get it, these kids and the transfer portal, these kids are able to become millionaires before they leave college. It ain't even about the education no damn more. It was like, let me go to college, negotiate my deal to play for y'all, then I can transfer. I'm going to keep it 100 with you. The XFL or wherever spring football league, oh, they're about to pop. They're about to pop in the next 5 to 6 years. See, that transfer portal, trust me, it changed more than just how to recruit and stuff like that. No, it changed it to the point that young people now can get grown folk money. Some people, it's too much too fast, man. See, it was the reason why they used to have the little seminars when the guys get drafted and they go look and they talk. It's too much too soon. That's just facts. It's too much too soon. You feel me? So, God bless them. Now, the other thing I'm just going to touch on because I found this funny was I saw the thing about Brittany Renner and Kevin Gates. You know I had to talk about that. Come on now. And this is where I'm getting straight. That Kevin Gates pointed out that he's about to be, I guess he's with Brittany Renner, who had recently became Muslim. And the side chick decided to out him in the whole nine. And from what I understand, she ain't giving him no nookie, supposedly. Now, of course, Brittany Renner recently became Muslim. It's funny how YouTube and Twitter, Black Twitter, all that, they find little receipts of how she was on this dude. She liked him, you know, an interview that they did a while back and so forth. Some people even suggest that she became a Muslim to get him. But here's the thing. Let me explain something to you ladies. Some men are who they are. And no matter what who you think you are, how bad you think you are, I don't give a damn how fine you may think you are. You're not going to change who that man is and how he operates. When they say, I know who I married, yeah, some of you girls actually really don't know who you married. Because if you did, either you wouldn't have married him in the first place because he didn't fit you, or you accept what he does. See, the thing about, I truly believe when it comes to Kevin Gates, he don't hide who the fuck he is for so much. One, because he's a public figure, he knows this. And is his beliefs and his thought process he done put out there. So you know what you're getting. It's no different than if a girl fucks with Anthony Edwards. She better strap up. She better strap up. Because he's going raw. He ain't pulling out. And he can get two shits if you talking about having the baby or not. He gonna push your ass to try to get rid of it. So a lot of times ladies think because who I am, I'm going to make him change. That doesn't work. It's no different than a woman. He has to change because he wants to. Our biggest mistake is we'll get with a stripper or a porn star and we expect this girl to change who she is because we're dating now. Not taking into account is that who she is? Did she enjoy being a porn star? She enjoy being a stripper? Did she feel sexually free that way? You date a female that's bisexual. Oh, you expect her to stop wanting pussy because she's with your dumb ass. See, women make the same mistakes too. See, Brittany Renner was thinking, because I'm Brittany Renner, and I'm a bad chick, and I don't want to be alone. She might have went Muslim to be with Kevin Gates. She might have been talking to Kevin Gates the whole damn time. We don't know. Because unless she was already Islamic, you went from being a Christian to a Muslim. The only time I see that ever happens is when a woman that is Christian happens to marry a Muslim. Either they coexist or she turns Islamic. Never see a woman just all of a sudden wake up one morning and say, you know something, I feel like being Muslim. And hearing that she was with Kevin Gates, knowing that he's Muslim. Well, so if she did go is Muslim for a man, to be with a man, crazy shit. But no, I'm pretty sure he didn't know how he is. When Dr. Giselle, whatever named Bryant, we're talking about we're talking about Cam Newton. His woman came out. She knows what she signed up for. It goes back to not the mistake that women make is this is what I want, not what does it take to date me. Men are the same way. What does it take to date me? What do this lady or this gent has to put up with when it comes to me? We don't never want to turn that mirror around on ourselves when it comes to that. We turn the mirror on this person. We want him to be this and tall and da-da-da. So I just wanted to comment on that because I just find it interesting that she turned Muslim. Well, allegedly turned Muslim so she can get this nigga just to get the same treatment that she was getting before she became Muslim. I'm just saying, the ring ain't been on the finger that long. And let's talk about the gentrification of Pop the Balloon. First of all, I don't like Pop the Balloon to begin with. And I actually took a gander at it. Just for research purposes. Thumbs fucking down. It is too white. It is too white. I'm not even going to put it on the host. It's just, it's sometimes when you, see, that's the thing, and there's nothing wrong with getting money. And I ain't mad at them for getting that money. But sometimes you kind of want it to still have close to the aura that it had before you sold it. At least somewhat close. It's just too... First of all, it was mostly black folk. I didn't really see too many whites. So now y'all implementing white people. So now we're doing the interracial bullshit. Corny jokes. Too much light. It's just... they said they gentrified it. Gentrified and being nice. They cracking that shit up. They white faced it. I knew that was coming. Because they're going to any show they might take, there might be a black show or what have you. They're going to make it palatable for the world because they want the international flavor. They want the streaming and so forth. Right? It's Netflix. They're gonna have some white people up there. They're gonna have some Indian. It ain't gonna be just Negroes. We're not a full Negro show is not palatable enough dating wise. So they were going to gentrify that shit up anyway. And that's the thing that I think people don't understand when it comes to this business is that these people, they're looking at money and marketing. And when it comes down to it, we got to put white people in it because it's not going to sell any other way. It's not. See, that's the reason why, like I told people, when interracial porn became the shit, it changed the world. Now that's the market. We want interracial in every which way of the word. How many shows now you see a black woman with a white man? Or vice versa. Commercials. Image. I haven't talked about the body image when it comes to black women. I was watching this show the other day with Tyler Perry. Guess what? Tyler Perry sat back and looked at what the fuck these motherfuckers was doing in Detroit, like the Dirty D and all that, and he brought it. The stripper body. P-Valley, the most celebrated TV series, most weighted. Why? Because you're going to see a bunch of stripper bodies. Nothing wrong with a stripper body, but that's the body type that black people sell to the world. And the world accepts from us. That type body type. To sell certain things. But when it comes to being on TV, you got to talk. What body type do you normally see from black sisters? Closer to the white, right? Look at Fox News. How many of them girls is built like a Miss Sapphire, what have you? Or even a Miss Be Nasty? See, everything about the world is marketing and making it more palatable. Because the money is not in the grit, but in the glam. Not the grit. I ain't talking about glitz and glam. No. Not in the grit. See, that's why I tell people some of the stereotypes on a sexual end that us as black folk push, that what the world sees, because that what they know. I had this conversation before. Why is it that it's so far-fetched for a black woman to be a submissive in BDSM? Most black women, you automatically assume that they're a dom, especially depending on how they're built. We had this conversation before, and it's deep. See, that's why I say at the end of the day, when I look at so many things of how we as a people, especially black folk, a lot of stuff that we argue about, a lot of the stuff that we sit here and complain about, we kind of put it on ourselves. We actually do. Some of it was put on us by, the white folk, but, it is what it is. So I had something else I was thinking about talking about. What else is left? Well, I think I ain't well, yeah, fuck all that. I gave y'all a fucking hour, man. So I'm done. So before we go, you know what you need to do. Go to the Premium Smoke Room on Loyal Fans. The link is in the description. Get your subscribe or follow. Preferably subscribe. And get access to 4 premium podcasts plus special events. I even go live on X. Followers as well as subscribers get the opportunity to even ask some of the lovely ladies some questions that will be answered on that live feed on X from you. That's where you get to see some tits. And you know what happens in Premium Smoke Room is conversation gets more saucier. The tits come out. Dildos pop out. You don't know what might pop off unless you subscribe. And also check out the Triple X store over there. Also on Spotify, check out my subscription side over there where I got Had to Smoke on it. Day one smokers know what I talk about over there. That's why I really get down and dirty with some topics. As well as Savage Smoke, where I talk to the industry's top male talented producers as they give us that real smoke about the industry from a male perspective. Plus a whole bunch of other podcast episodes that you'll get to listen to and check out, Either way, whether it's Premium Smoke or you want some Savage Smoke or had to see what I was smoking on that day, get the smoke. You feel me? And like I said, if you're on YouTube, like, comment, and subscribe. And please follow me on all my social media. Thank you once again for being a smoker. Yes. And, by the way, this weekend, as you're hearing this, my birthday is coming up Monday. If you want to, why don't you send me something via Cash App? You know what I'm saying? For my birthday, just to be nice. I put it out there for you. $ smoke this over. You know what I'm saying? Just send a little message saying, smoking with you. You feel me? So, because I'm turning 50 and feels good to go around the sun for the 50th time. So, we end these things all day, every day. Life is a learning experience. What's the point of the experience if you haven't learned anything? Smoke this over. Peace.